In other news, Crimson Desert fans are so annoying. They are definitely this year's Black Myth Wukong fans. They're insufferable. I can't wait for award season to come around and that game wins absolutely nothing. I'm standing on it. I think best case scenario for Crimson Desert is it will win. I'll give it a chance to win maybe like best action game, but even still, that's iffy. It will not even be in the conversation for game of the year. I can promise you that. A contributor to GameStop's long forgotten Steam competitor explains why he thinks Valve came out on top. This headline was very interesting to me because I said, what the fuck? GameStop was trying to compete with Valve? Their online gaming distribution system? The same year where Wolverine is dropping? I doubt it. Wolverine, GTA 6, Pragmata, the other one, Control, that we just looked at. It's so many fucking games this year. Phantom Blade Zero, they're fucking crazy. Resident Evil 9. It's funny because the year Black Myth Wukong came out, that wasn't gonna win Game of the Year either. The year that Baldur's Gate 3 I think came out, it never had a chance. But at least there was less competition. Yeah, Lego Batman, Dust Blood, like there's so much competition. This is a great year for single player games. You have to really stand out to stand out. But yeah, let's get back. This headline this one piqued my interest. So apparently GameStop was working on its own online Fable. Forgot about Fable, Beast of Reincarnation. Y'all keep naming them, see? This is going to be a tough year. This is one I would say if you win Game of the Year this year, with the exception being Grand Theft Auto 6, because if Grand Theft Auto 6 wins, I don't think anybody will be surprised. That's politics. Regardless of the quality of the game, that's politics. But if any other game wins, that's like Dirk Nowitzki's ring. Like it's a bloody ring. It's a bloody ring. Anyways, Larry Cooper made his mark on the industry as part of the team at Night Dive, the game's preservation and remaster specialist. But before that, he was on the front line of the digital distribution wars from the early 2000s. He helped build up the online storefront Impulse, which was later acquired and ultimately shuttered by GameStop. I've never even heard of this, bro. Steam's real competitor, its own shadow in the jujitsu system. Right. If Crimson Desert doesn't win Game of the Year, Jeff is low IQ. Oh yeah, 007 comes out. Valve's unlikely victory against titans like EA and Microsoft has always fascinated me, and I asked Cooperman for his take on Steam's ultimate victory when he spoke at this year's GDC. The idea was coming up to all of us, said Cooperman. Let's also remember that Steam really began as a visual way of finding your Counter-Strike server. Steam had a number of early rivals in the digital distribution. Cooperman shouted out Paradox's Gamersgate. There was a system called Gamersgate, but he thinks Steam was quicker on the draw to sell other companies' games on its platform. A former GameStop executive thought building its Steam competitor would be his forever job, but the retailer bet the house on digital. New Blood CEO Dave Oshari says he always loved GOG, but they need enough people to give a shit for how long they've been going. Yo, shout out to Elite Sniper with the sub, appreciate it. Wrestling the Steam Goliath, pulling a Night Dive, and seeing off Vulture Capital, GOG chats the risk and opportunities of a future. The idea of selling games and then selling third-party games didn't seem intuitive at the time. You're a game company. Why are you selling other people's games? That was a hard thing to understand, but Gabe really had a great vision coming out of Microsoft. That's crazy. People didn't understand that. Valve is basically the PC version of the iOS App Store. You host people's product there and then you skim shit off the top. You take 30% of their profits and then you never have to make another video game or another product again. It's just a distribution platform. That's crazy. People didn't see that. Was there a release date for Mortal Shell? There was not. But I have a feeling it's either going to come out this year or next year. They sent me an email. I don't know if they saw my stream, but they sent me an email asking me if I wanted to like beta test this shit. So I think it might come out this year or next. Another advantage, according to Cooperman, was Steam's stickiness and embracing the social elements. He noted that Steam and Impulse both let you re-download your games without restrictions, something that wasn't always guaranteed. I still have a Games Planet receipt from 2008 that would only let me re-download Fallout 1 and 2 through the service 6 times a piece. That was a thing. I remember too, on console, you had like a pass where you could only download the game once too. I still need to peep that gameplay video from Mortal Shell. Oh, that should it actually looks fire. You should definitely watch the whole thing too, Homeless. But Steam also, that game wasn't even on my list. That matter of fact, let's throw Mortal Shell 2 in there too. Mortal Shell 2 was not even on my radar. And then we watched that gameplay the other day and I was like, it moved right up the stock for me. Same thing when I played the Pragmata demo, it moved up in stock for me. There's so many good single player games coming out this year. But Steam also had friends list, messaging, playtime stats, and those little pop-up notifications about your buddies and what they were playing. Is Star Wars coming out this year? That's a good question. If it does, that's another banger. I think that might be 2027. You the GOAT just had an epiphany. What you talking about, Blizzy? What Steam did better than anybody else was create a community. They established a stickiness to us that people came back because it was Steam. That I do agree with. I do remember in the early days of PC gaming, it was just, I remember going to GameStop and they had a whole section where you could buy PC CDs. Like there was no Steam back in like when I was like in middle school, I think. You just bought the disc, and then if you were playing online, it's because they had like their own little internal server or whatever. But like there was no like Xbox Live for PC gaming. That's what Steam did. It brought everything under one umbrella, which people like. There's one more decision by Valve that Cooperman cited as a key to Steam's victory. It's relatively low barrier to entry. There were so many great games in the 2000s. It's easy to forget all the small to mid-sized studios that shuttered during that era, particularly PC specialists who couldn't make the jump to console. Shareware is dead. Digital distribution is yet to be born. Now is the time for monsters. Star Fox's game of the year? What? That's one more decision by Valve that Cooperman cited as a key to Steam's victory. It's relatively low barrier to entry. All right, then. If you did not get a retail buyer to pick up your game, called Cooperman. If your game wasn't at Walmart, GameStop, or 3 or 4 retailers, you were done. Yeah, exactly what I'm talking about. I remember when it was, and I remember PC games, the boxes were so much bigger in comparison to the Xbox and the PlayStation games. They had them big ass boxes because you had to install like 3-4 CDs. If you didn't get into GameStop, Walmart, Target, your game was not getting sold. So like Steam helped a lot with like indie developers and stuff. You didn't make a game. Games were kind of unusual and quirky, and that broke them. Steam's philosophy of anybody can put their game on it for a price, but it's not a significant price, that really changed the gaming world. I think that's probably the biggest thing you could say about Steam. For a number of indies, it kept their company alive when they would have otherwise gone under. But Cooperman attributes the survival of his own indie studio to a different storefront that emerged in the same time, which is GOG. There would have been no Night Dive, said Cooperman. GOG was one that put the System Shock 2 up and really started our company, and that goes to our friend Oleg, who's the owner of GOG. Wolverine, then Phantom Blade the same week. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably playing Wolverine first. Yeah, that shit changed a lot. Yeah, a lot of people don't know what PC gaming was back then. When I was playing Unreal Tournament 4, the demo, you just download the game and you would play it. Like, imagine a world where, like, you remember when Genshin Impact first came out? I don't think it was on Steam. You had to go download their little installer. That was pretty much every game. You had to download it, their own custom installer, or you had to go buy the disc. Everything was just super fragmented, but Steam brought it all together and gave that kind of Xbox Live experience. GTA 5 physical and PC had 7 discs. Say it ain't so. Sheesh. Wait, so what happened? I feel like he didn't really speak too much on the... Well, I guess he's saying GameStop's competitor died because Steam brought everything else. Imagine a world where GameStop did have a competitor directly to Steam. And like you could trade in your digital games for like credit or something like that. I don't know how that would work, but that's probably what they would have tried to do. But shit coulda, woulda. It failed. What am I talking about? GameStop can't even keep their brick and mortars together. I went to GameStop like a month ago because me and my girl went out to lunch, and there was one nearby. She wanted to go in there, and that was the first time I've been in GameStop in probably like 2 years. I saw more Magic cards, trinkets, T-shirts, them little toy statues, than video games. And then the games they did have, it was like old shit. They had a wall full of PS4 games. I said, what's going on in here? What's going on here? You could have, that space you have for the PS4, you could have put up more Xbox games, more PS5 games. Yeah, accessory shop. But I'm like, what the fuck is all these fucking trinkets, bro? Goofy ass shit. It was a clean one at least. It wasn't like the last one I went to, but Yeah, it feels like they're pretty behind. TBH with another GameStop story. Fuck that place, dude. Other news. PlayStation to enhance gameplay visuals with buyout ahead of the PlayStation 6. Sony has announced that it has acquired the UK-based machine learning and computer vision company Cineverse Labs in part to help enhance gameplay visuals. The company, founded in 2022 and developed a Cineverse AI technology that is capable of transforming a photo into a volumetric 3D experience. You can see this in action on the company's website. I think that's one of those AIs that turns a regular flat picture into like a 3D moving one. It gives that little effect. They use it a lot like on Spotify and shit. When the deal closes, Cineverse Labs will join Sony's visual computing group. This unit is responsible for advancing state-of-the-art visual computing within games. This includes applying machine learning to enhance gameplay visuals, improve rendering techniques, and unlock new levels of visual fidelity for players. Translation: for the PlayStation 6, we're going to try to find a way to put the cheapest parts as possible inside of the hardware and then use AI to bump up that 1080p to 4K. Or even 6 or 8K. They're basically trying to do less with more using AI. Financial terms of the acquisition were not disclosed. This game after Sony announced that it was shutting down Bluepoint Games, the developer of acclaimed remakes and other projects, blah, blah, blah. So more AI slop. Yeah, for me, I'm gonna be honest. When you're using AI like this, it doesn't really bother me because nobody's losing their job over this. They're using it to enhance what's already there. So if they're buying this company so that they can introduce some type of 6K or 8K filter to improve your visuals, yeah, they're using it as a tool. This is not like they're generating games with it. I don't really care about this shit. Yeah, just basic upscaling. So I'm not opposed to this. This is when I think it's okay. It's when you start using it to generate games and that's slop shit. But they're doing it with the Nintendo Switch 2 right now. Yeah, like nobody's gonna lose their job over this type of shit. This is just basic upscaling. Yeah, shout out to LD3 all day with the sub. So is GameStop like book off, sell games but mostly figurines and collector stuff? GameStop in America, because I know you're in Japan. GameStop in America is basically the only store in the United States, large chain, because there's mom and pops, right? But it's the only large chain in the United States that specifically is centered around selling video games. The problem is in the last 10 years, they've moved away from video games and they sell more trinkets. So it's like, you guys might as well just take GameStop out of your fucking name and just call it the nerd store, because that's really what it is. They don't sell no books there. Don't nobody at GameStop read. No spoilers. Now that you've seen Mario, would you agree it felt like it was a lot going on? Yeah, I feel like it lacked a definitive scene too. Yeah, just call it the stop. Funko Pop Emporium. Fortnite got Grand Theft Auto 6 before we got Grand Theft Auto 6. Hear me out. GTA streamer turned dev launched cash heist inside of Fortnite. If you need to get your crime kicks before Grand Theft Auto 6 launches in November, Cash Heist City, built entirely in the Unreal editor for Fortnite, might be just what you're looking for. It's the work of Jogo Studios, a company founded by streamers turned developers. Cash Heist City is an open world playground with heists, racing, PvP, bounties, missions, and car chases. Clearly a homage to the GTA series. Players can be a cop, a hacker, a driver, or a bounty hunter to build up their cash reserves and then buy homes, businesses, and luxury cars. Just like GTA Online, the story drop changes things up. Yesterday, a Cash Heist City update saw mob boss Ramsey take control of the game's black market. Wow. We were tired of waiting, said the devs. Cash Heist City is exactly what UGT was made for, and it's the boldest expression yet. We move quickly to deliver an innovative game mechanics, deeply immersive worlds, and a familiar yet unique play loop, all without the constant delays of traditional development. We couldn't be prouder to bring this shit to fucking Fortnite, nigga. Who wants to, now this is, who wants to play some GTA slop?
So, if I were to go over to this select a job screen, this will allow me to pick 5 different jobs in which
Twitch froze up right when he was about to answer it. Felt like the movie didn't know what it wanted to be. Mario Galaxy felt like a cash grab. Like, it's not the worst thing I ever seen. I saw it once, but I would never watch it again, even if it was on streaming service. The only reason I would ever watch that Mario Galaxy movie is if I took my kid to, and I've never had sex, so I don't have kids, but if I had kids and that ended up being like their favorite movie and they wanted to watch it again, like on streaming services, I would watch it. But like me personally, it was just like it felt like a cash grab. It didn't feel like a labor of love. It felt like it was trying to do too much, trying to cram too much Nintendo in there. It also didn't have much to do with anything in regards to Mario Galaxy. It was just like Nintendo the movie. Did it even have a story? Yeah, it had a story. The princess is in danger. This time it's what's the one from Mario Galaxy, Lucia or whatever the fuck her name is. This time she's in danger and Mario has to rescue her. It's the same story. Rosalina, yeah, my bad. Rosalina. Yeah, it's the same story as the last one. And to me that's okay because I mean that's what Mario games are. So it's important to have really strong dialogue in person to person moments. And it was just kind of like everything was just kind of like, it's okay. Why are you hitting me?
Each other. So I picked the hacker class. This allows me to hack items and make it really easy for me to navigate the space. Upon going down the elevator and getting into
Can we also talk about the lack of Rosalina? Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it already, I'm giving minor spoilers, but like it's nothing that's gonna spoil the plot because there's not much of a plot anyway. Yeah, Rosalina shows up like for 10 minutes of the movie. And that's why I said I think the biggest crime for that movie is it has hardly anything to do with Mario Galaxy, the game. It doesn't capture the essence of the games. It just uses it, but it really doesn't have anything in common other than the fact that Rosalina is in a movie, but it doesn't have anything really much in common with the games. And then also there's like cameos from like other Mario games. The use of Star Fox, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty disappointed with that. I'm a huge Star Fox fan. I felt like they made him kind of cheesy. Star Fox is supposed to be a cool motherfucker. I felt like they were trying too hard to make him funny and like it just came across as cheesy. It was just like the movie was like it's a movie. Did the movie make you want to stab yourself in the hand? No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I teeter somewhere between like a 5 and a 6. Like it's a movie. That like that's the West. It's a movie. There were a couple times where I smiled or like I laughed, but it's just painfully mid. It is. I thought the first one was better. It's aggressively okay.
You'll see these numbers above the player's head.
Even the Easter eggs weren't even that good. I thought the Easter eggs were really good in the first movie, but in this second one, even the Easter eggs were like,
when you eliminate a player, they drop money, so you can acquire it. You can see my.
I'm not gonna lie, this looks nothing like Grand Theft Auto.
System above my head, those are 5 cash.
This looks like Fortnite.
Could go up to it and just blow it up. These all give us really dynamic ways of setting up the world. So I'm gonna go to my hacker HQ.
So yeah, chat. We're just going.
Man, I'm gonna play this off stream, man. We're gonna finish this mission up off stream.
Yeah, it is Fortnite, but like they're calling this like the GTA mode inside of Fortnite, but it's like this just looks like Fortnite. It doesn't look like they're using the Fortnite engine. Like, you know what I mean? When I like there are certain games on the Roblox engine you wouldn't be able to tell it was Roblox. You could tell this is Fortnite, dog. Battlefield 6, remember that game? Transformative new creation tool makes Portal much more powerful. There are no more compromises. The next Battlefield 6 update will unlock a new era for its Portal creation tools, giving you the ability to trigger interactions with far more precision than previously possible. The Portal gadget is set to arrive alongside the Prey and Hunter update, the third and final phase of Battlefield 6 Season 2, which launches in just a couple weeks. Also included are overhauls to the core multiplayer progression system and team communication features. While Battlefield 6 can sometimes feel a little by the numbers in comparison to more modern, distinctive multiplayer games like Arc Raiders or Rainbow Six Siege's new Metal Gear themed season, the Battlefield Portal is its saving grace. It allows for everything from simple rule tweaks to fully transformative experiences, such as the recently launched Battle Golf, which turns Battlefield 6 into a golf game. However, it's always been somewhat held back by an inability to deploy custom logic, and that's about to change. Until now, there hasn't been an intuitive way for players to activate custom logic whenever they chose. Battlefield Studio wrote, there's no true portal button, and most inputs are already tied to core gameplay or limited to specific contexts. This has led creators to rely on fixed interact points, force players into specific locations, or use clunky workarounds like crouch to confirm. Basically, it sounds like the original Portal was a set of tools with a very limited scope. This sounds like they're just giving you full access to the engine to do whatever the fuck you want, so you don't have to do workarounds and shit. They got battle golf in this.
You can now play golf in Battlefield 6. And no, I'm not kidding. This map has 9 playable holes, each with their own par. And to play, you just walk up to your ball and interact with it. This opens a menu where you could use WASD and space to select which club you want to use. And then you can set the power of your swing by crouching. You can also choose a hit modifier, which more on those later. And then there's the button to actually swing. When you swing, you'll have to try to time it where this meter is lined up with accuracy. And then once again for the power. Before every hole, you'll get a cinematic of the route you're supposed to take, and when you try to aim out of bounds, the game will warn you. Like I said, there are some modifiers that you could choose to use during your turn. All these are pretty self-explanatory, like the power hit just lets you hit farther. Super focus makes it easier to time the accuracy and power, and then backspin just puts a backspin on your ball. The map supports up to 4 players, and it cycles the turns based on whoever's the farthest away. When you first load into the map, to actually start the game, you just walk up to the sign and interact.
Man, I'm gonna play this off stream, man. We're gonna
Just play Super Battle Golf. I seen Steve playing that the other day. It looked pretty fun. The portal gadget can be added to a player's inventory and equipped like any other standard gadget, but instead of performing a traditional in-game action, it becomes a powerful trigger for custom events. It's linked to the logic script that makes your portal experience tick, and you got the freedom to choose when to hand it to people and bind custom interactions to the inputs and events. No more workarounds, no more compromises. Portal Gadget unlocks more intentional, responsive interactions, making it easier than ever to build dynamic, immersive experiences that behave exactly how you want them to. The Portal Gadget will be included in the Hunter Prey update on April 14th. I'm curious to see what other people will be doing with these tools. At the end of the day, though, Battlefield 6 crashed my PC, so I'm not coming back. But I know some people out there still playing, so maybe that's why I shared the content. I'm a reformed ball and gun gamer who just got their first PC. What are some games y'all suggest? What kind of games you like, bro? That's the question. Oh, we were just talking about the Mario Galaxy movie. Despite how we feel about Mario Galaxy in terms of the quality of the product, the Super Mario Galaxy movie's opening day breaks multiple worldwide records. Following the first day box office results for the Super Mario Galaxy movie in the US, the opening day performance for Mario's sequel globally has now been revealed. The Galaxy movie officially opened with a global box office figure of 68 million, putting it ahead of the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which banked in 66 million on its first day. Deadline also reports how several records have been broken. They broke records in Mexico, UK, and the Ireland, Germany, Spain, France, Central America, Austria. Mario is more popular than Sonic, guys. It is what it is, man. But that being said, the Sonic movies are a better quality. I just talked about it for those who were curious about my thoughts on Mario Galaxy. I'm not going to reiterate it. Let me before we move on. If you're tight on budget and you don't want to spend $100,000 at the movie theater, you can skip this movie. I'm gonna be honest. Just wait for it to come to streaming service. It's not a 0 out of 10 like the Times said, but it's also not that great either. It is what it is. And unfortunately, because the way the movie ended, there will, for those who haven't seen it, minor spoilers, there will be a third movie. I'm not gonna tell you how or why, but there are two credit scenes. If you go see the movie, there will be a third movie. So when the third movie comes out, I pray they look at some of the feedback, because before I move on, I think the most disappointing thing about this is, like I said earlier, the only thing this has in common with the Mario Galaxy game is Rosalina's in the movie, but it doesn't really have much in common with the game as a whole. It doesn't feel like a celebration of Mario Galaxy. And if you watch the movie, at the beginning, it says primarily produced by Shigeru Miyamoto in Illumination. So Miyamoto had his hands all over this movie. I don't know if he's getting older or something, but I'm like, nigga, do you remember like the Mario Galaxy games? Because this movie don't got shit to do. It doesn't have to be an exact rendition. The Marvel movies don't do that, but like, respect the source material a little bit better. I expect better from Miyamoto. So I hope they look at the feedback and they craft something better for the third movie. It didn't feel like a labor of love. And no, I don't think there will be anything spin-off Star Fox. First of all, we read it in the stream the other day. Miyamoto already is on record saying that Smash Bros was never in the cards. But like minor spoilers, if you go see the movie, I'm gonna be honest, from what I took from that, I don't think we're getting a Smash Bros movie, if that's what you were hoping for. And I'm gonna be honest, based off what we see with this Mario Galaxy, I don't think they're ready for a Smash Bros movie anyway. I don't think they're ready for that. Go see the movie. There will be a third Mario movie, but I don't think it's gonna have anything to do with Smash Bros. I want you to see it for yourself because I don't want to spoil anything. Keeping it in the realm of Nintendo. The rumored new Star Fox game needs this one big change if it's gonna succeed. What's the big change? Fox McCloud is probably better known as Super Smash Bros. Fighter than the protagonist of the Star Fox franchise these days. But last week saw two unexpected developments for the anthropomorphic hero. Glenn Powell announced his voice of the Fox in the Star Wars Galaxy movie, and then there's a reported Star Fox game coming out for the Switch 2. We talked about that. We covered that in a previous stream. I'm not gonna lie, if they announce a new Star Fox game, that might make me get a Switch 2. What made you wear glasses? My eyes. Hey, chat, what made you want to put shoes on? According to the Star Fox leak, the upcoming game will supposedly feature classic style action. In other words, it will play like Star Fox 64 and be an on-rail shooter. That's fine and dandy, but I'd argue Nintendo needs to take a different flight path with the new Star Fox, bro. What kind of question? I don't know. You're lucky I'm in a good mood. What made you want to draw that car? Rather than retread old territory, this rumored Switch 2 game should look to Hades 2 for inspiration, as the critically acclaimed roguelike best exemplifies how to mix story with replayability. Two things Fox and his flight crew upcoming adventure to take out Andros will need. Though this might seem like a departure from the original Star Fox 64 already incorporated roguelike aspects, as saving Slippy in a level could lead to an alternate pathway through the Lilat system. Plus, the arcade nature of the 97 title leads to a very short playtime. First of all, that was not roguelike elements. Those were just different story beats, and that's been around for since. That's true. Like, I remember if you would, I think it was the first level, if you helped Falco within a certain amount of time, if you saved him when he was first getting attacked and he didn't take any damage, in that first level, I remember it takes you through he'll lead you through a waterfall on the right, and you can fight a completely different boss. That's what made the game so great. But that was just like a different story beat. At the end of the day, the story still ends up the same. Yeah, it had like secrets and stuff like that. But I see what he's saying. From like level to level, maybe they can introduce different like power-ups and stuff like that. You said, damn, Unc still got it. Star Fox is one of my favorite games. So like, I remember like things about it. He said he still got it. I remember. It was one of my favorite games. I can quote that whole fucking game, bro. I love me a nice, but like that, I wouldn't call that roguelike. That was just an alternate path. But that being said, what he's suggesting, making it like Hades 2, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Like at the start of every round, like you get different bonuses or like abilities or better. That could make the gameplay interesting. Or maybe even like make each level have multiple layers to it, to where like you could play the same level in a different type of vehicle. You could choose to take the air, and that'll give you a certain advantage, and you would have to fight like a certain type of boss. Or you could take the tank, and you can go on the ground, and you would fight a certain boss there, and that would change the story. It would change maybe like the difficulty or something like that. That would give a lot of replayability, maybe even with like roguelike elements. Once Fox takes to the skies, the game could dole out collectible materials throughout levels that offer more permanent upgrades to the Fox's R-Wing. For instance, enemy drops could include a type of metal that increases the ship's armor, allowing for players to take more hits, while a different substance could be utilized to alter the R-Wing's laser firepower. Basically, with modern roguelikes, it'd be important to balance the run-based power-ups. Okay, so like if he wants to do like a roguelike, I'm not opposed to that. That would only work if they keep the game short. Cause like, and to be fair, Star Fox 64 is a short game. You could beat it in 30 minutes. So if they make the game like 30 minutes to like an hour and make it hard, I wouldn't be opposed to that. But like, the story got to be fire too. Yo, shout out to OJ with the sub. Appreciate it. I hope there's more R-Wings than on foot missions. Same. I feel that. I would love to see some type of Nintendo collab type game. Maybe like a game where like Star Fox ends up in the Hyrule universe and Link and Fox got to work together. Star Fox Adventure 2 type shit. There'll be R-Wing missions. You get to fly to R-Wing with Link and shit. But then you got to hit the ground and save the dinosaurs again. It's worth a shot. I'm not opposed to this idea. It's not bad. I could see it working. I could see this working like a roguelike. Me personally, I don't care if it's a roguelike. Me personally, all I want to see is some funny ass memes and lines when the dialogue between the characters. I need them to turn Falco up to 12. Just be a fucking dick the whole game. Maybe some new vehicles, multiple pathways, and a good story, and I'm cool. But if they add the roguelike, that's a bonus. The rumor also stated there could potentially be multiplayer. I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll see. Is Star Fox 64 unk slop, or is it still a valid gameplay? I think Star Fox aged very well. In my opinion, Star Fox aged better than like what was it, 007? That's unk slop. That's a game that was great for its time, but it probably doesn't feel good now. But Star Fox, I think Star Fox aged well. I hear people saying that a game just on rail games wouldn't work in 2026. What do you think? I think there's a market for everything. First of all, y'all niggas said y'all wasn't gonna buy the Switch 2 and it became the fastest selling console ever. I don't want to hear it. It's been a long time, and Star Fox would benefit from the fact that it's been a long time since the Star Fox game came out, so it would sell regardless. Now, if Star Fox came out every year and it was the same shit and it was on rails, no, I think it wouldn't do good. But because they use him very frivolously, very sparingly, I think it would be okay. That 007 pause music still fire though. It is. I agree. 2K community is complaining. Somebody tag me in this. 2K is making us pay for monthly locker codes. This shit is ridiculous. Unlock monthly locker codes. $35, $10, $4. For those who don't play 2K, locker codes are basically codes that Ronnie 2K would give away on Twitter for free for being a follower. You would punch it into the game and it would give you some free content. It could be like new skins or card packs. Now they're asking people to pay for what used to be free. And to the 2K community, my only take here is, guys, you don't have to buy it. Matter of fact, I'd argue this is a test. This is an open book test. And I'm going to warn you, just like anything else, locker codes used to be free. Now they're trying to charge you for it. Why are they trying to charge you for it? Because the board of directors and the investors said, all right, we're making a lot of money, hand over fist, 10%. We're up 10, 15, 20% every year. But how can we get up to 30% extra profit next year for 2K27? Why don't we beta test making people pay for shit that used to be free in the game, like the locker codes? So this is a beta test, and the next year they're going to ramp up the fucking price. Don't fail the test, guys. How does 2K have a battle pass? Doesn't it cost $70? 2K has a battle pass because the 2K community does not have a backbone, unfortunately. And they justify their lack of backbone by saying, it's the only basketball game on the market. Go play a different game. They won't do it. That's the bigger question. If I had the money to do like some type of psychoanalysis of people who can't quit 2K and Madden and shit, I would love to do a deep dive into their brain. My video is aging like fine wine. Yeah, they'll call you broke and shit. And then last but not least, if you were hoping for a Dead by Daylight 2, the developer says shut the fuck up. The developers of Dead by Daylight tell me they're extremely committed to keeping the game going as long as possible with support, crossovers, and all sorts of updates. So committed, in fact, that a sequel to the game is off the table. Speaking to me at the GDC conference last month, head of partnerships at Behavior Interactive and the creative director chatted with me about the challenge of following up on a super successful live service game. They said that while they had thought about doing a sequel or a remake at different points in development, it never makes sense for the fans to do. There's always a point where we say, okay, we could do a sequel now, and it would be far easier to actually do a sequel with a blank slate than to try to fix these issues that we have. For example, Richard said, but it never makes sense for the fans. Never, ever. They've invested time and money into Dead by Daylight. I feel like that's cap, nigga. I feel like that's cap as fuck. If you're playing Dead by Daylight in 2026, and they announce a Dead by Daylight 2 tomorrow, you're buying it. You're a fucking super fan. Because first of all, who the fuck is playing Dead by Daylight in 2026? Is this game still popping? Let's see, Steam. We about to Steam DB watch. God damn, bruh. Holy shit. Hey, I'll eat my L. This game is still popping. I take it back. Okay, I understand. I was expecting like 2,000 people to be on here. This is fucking impressive. I will clout them up on this. Let me tell you why this is impressive. Guys, if I had the link, I would show it. I think I archived the video on the GI updates page. But the guy that's talking the guys that are talking in this article, I interviewed them back in 2015. I interviewed before the game even came. I played Dead by Daylight before the game came out. I got to interview the developers. We uploaded that was back in 2015. So this game has been out for 11 fucking years, and it's still averaging 50K with a peak of almost 100 and almost 80K. And then 10 months ago, it had 100. I can understand. That being said, I don't know, man. It gets to a point where, like, I could argue you could easily be averaging 200K if you announce the sequel. If you still are averaging 50,000 people every night after 11 years, you could easily be doing 250, 300K if you announced a new game. It gets to a point where I do think you have to let it go. You would make way more money. But I mean, look, it's not my place to define what's success. If they feel like this level of success is okay for them, who am I to judge, you know? They're happy with what they got. Because on the flip side, to be fair to them, they could be like EA or Activision or 2K, and they could be super greedy. I feel like it's a combo of consistent updates as well as them releasing iconic and popular. It's the collabs. Well, if you were in that boat of you wanted a sequel, I don't think it's coming anytime soon because this game is still popular. This game got more players than Marathon. God damn, bro. Let me see. Yeah, this shit got more players than Marathon. What the freak? I never played Dead by Daylight, but it's the nexus of horror genre collabs. The game was okay to me. I think it always shocks me like how popular that game is because it's not my cup of tea, but this is a friendly reminder that, you know, we all live in bubbles. And apparently I was just ignorant to how popping the Dead by Daylight community is. So shout out to y'all, man. Y'all keep fixing those generators, man. Y'all keep fixing those generators. I'm gonna pass, but shout out to y'all, man. It's got to be more players than Sparking Zero. That's not hard to do, bro. I don't even know if Sparking Zero. As fun as it is to rag on Sparking Zero, to be fair to this game, I don't think most of the community is on PC. I don't think the PC community would be a good gauge for this. My gut tells me most players are on console, so I'm gonna be fair to it. Trust me, I want to dunk on this game, but I'm gonna be fair to it. I don't think most of the players are on PC, big dog. Let me see. Let me go into Sugbox real quick. Let's go in the shop. I gotta switch my account. The sub. Get my likes up. I'm showing mercy. Today I will show a little bit of mercy. Age of Empires, don't care. I thought most anime gamers had a PlayStation. That's what I'm saying. I think most of them are on console. With the exception being you Sword Art Online niggas, y'all be on PC. Boiled. I'm gonna assume there probably wasn't any interesting trailers. Tiny Eden. Is this another cat game? Fragmented Minds. I don't know. Crime Simulator official PC or PS5 launch. Oh shit. Morbid Metal. So I'm in a good mood today. I'm breathing. I'm cooling, man. I'm in a good mood today because I went to the gym 5 days this week, which makes it like 2 months in a row. So, you know, I've been consistent. That's why I be tired. Actually, you know, last week I was feeling so good. I always tell myself Monday to Friday, but last week I was feeling so good. I actually worked out on Saturday too. I just did some cardio and some like core type shit. I regretted it the next day, so I don't think I'm gonna work out tomorrow. Hey, chat. Take your rest days. Take your rest days. I was like, because I feel like I've been tired all fucking week, bro. All fucking week. World War I, Gallipoli. I think I might go for like a walk tomorrow, but like I'm not going to the gym. I might go on an extended walk with the doggy. Shout out to Jeff Stacks with the 5 gifted memberships. Knees be screaming. Nah. I take care of my knee. I always ice my knees after a workout. I got these compression sleeves that you can put it in the microwave, or you can put it in the motherfucking freezer. I keep them in the freezer. So every time when I come home from a workout, I put my compression sleeves on my knees for like 20 minutes. And then like I read the news, see what I'm talking about today. Yeah, and stretching more too. I hit the foam roller today. Aki ready to go? He always ready to go. Launch trailer for this joint. But it is. Did somebody say walk? 10 free software that should never be on any PC. I'll be the judge of that. Same all week, and I hit my knee. I may get some shots up though. Just be trying to do something as you get older. Just be trying to do something. All right, let's see. Let me look at these trailers. I need to get back in the gym. I was consistent a couple months ago, but I fell off. It'd be like that. Yeah, sometimes I'd be like that too. But I like my rule is like I don't start the stream until I go to the fucking gym. Like that's my rule. Cause I just don't like the idea of sitting. As much as I like games, I just don't like the idea of sitting on the computer all day. It doesn't do anything for me. What is this? Tiny Eden. A cozy game. No, thank you. We'll pass. Fragmented Minds. Chapter 2 launch trailer. You hungry? Booger boy.
This site was home to the Foundation's greatest achievements. Now, it's just echoes of a future they stole from us.
Oh, it's a horror game.
How did they get like this?
Because when it mattered, they were too weak to do what was necessary.
No! It's about keeping the world safe, not controlling it.
Yo, shout out to Show Enough with the sub. Appreciate it. What am I looking at? You said ushy gushy ass game. If GTA 6 has a story with co-op in it, would I play it? Oh yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, I go as far as to say that would actually make me more excited for GTA 6. To be able to play, especially because there's 2 characters, right? Lucia and the dude. That would make me a little bit more excited. I can play with a friend. Everything's better with co-op. Everything's better. Absolutely. I don't know about this. Crime Simulator. Who's trying to hit licks? It would actually show they had some innovation in mind. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, this is a streamer game. We're good off this. Morbid Metal. GTA is definitely a single player experience, though. I think GTA would be fine as co-op. I hate to break it to you guys, but GTA does not have some type of intricate story. What was the game? Was it a BioWare game? Was it SOTOR? The MMO, the Star Wars MMO that had co-op, and when you played co-op with your friends in that MMO, everybody's character showed up in the cutscene and you guys got to make decisions together. It was SOTOR, right? All right. If that game can have co-op, which actually has a deep story in it where you make decisions, Grand Theft Auto 6 can have co-op in it. Guys, I hate to break it to you. Grand Theft Auto is not a deep story. We've already been over this a million times. What's going to happen? You're going to be playing as Lucia and the white guy in Florida. You're going to be down on your luck. You'll be like, damn, I need a job. I'm about to start robbing niggas, bro. You're gonna meet somebody who's gonna introduce you to somebody. Like they could do co-op. That shit is not that fucking deep. Cut it out. GTA niggas are fucking annoying, man. Cut it the fuck out. Yeah, exact. Thank you. Baldur's Gate 3 has co-op in it. I'm mad I even forgot that. Baldur's Gate 3, which arguably has the deepest choice system I've ever seen in any fucking video game, to the point where anytime I watch somebody play Baldur's Gate 3, the gameplay is always completely different from the other person's. And vice versa, because I know when y'all watch me play, y'all saw me do a lot of things you didn't know were possible in the game. You could do that in co-op, and you talking about, I don't think GTA is more of a single player. Cut it out. How you gonna say GTA is more of a single player experience when most of you niggas is thriving on the T Grizzly server? GTA is a social experiment. So not experiment. GTA is more of a social experience. So I think I'd argue that it should have co-op. They should lean even more into the social experience. Because long gone, I would say that the foundation of GTA was single player, but since GTA 5 came out, I think it's more of a multiplayer game. Forge. Okay, so it's a roguelike. Yeah, it's a hood sandbox. This looks kind of cool. April 8th. Oh, fuck no. This shit came out of fucking nowhere, bruh. Look kind of cool, though. April 8th. Gallipoli? What the fuck? World War I Gabagoo edition. Who's ready to play with one-shot rifles? Two main characters, it would only make sense for co-op. Ding, ding, ding. Like all they would have to do for the co-op for GTA 6 to make it work is whatever character the person who's hosting the party is, they get their file saves. But like if you have a friend that hops in and plays co-op the other character to help you, whatever money or items they unlock, they can carry it back to their game. So like your story wouldn't progress, but you can grind your characters if that makes sense. That's how you do it to balance it. Can we let World War games go? No, bruh. Europeans love this shit, bruh. They love these world wars, man. Your president trying to start another one. This game, the character models aren't that great, but the level design is pretty. It's just, I feel like the guns don't have any impact to it. Where's my Tuskegee Airmen game? You know they can't make that. If they made a Tuskegee Airmen game, you know that side of the internet be like, niggas can't fly planes. Yo, shout out to Chef Boro Drew with the $5 super chat. Especially because I don't know if y'all been following the news. They would definitely complain if there was a Tuskegee Airmen game. They don't believe we can do anything. I don't know if y'all saw, but like that nigga Hexeth, the Secretary of War, he's fired like 6 generals in like the last 24 hours. Great sign for a country, by the way. I'm about to get on my woke shit real quick. Great sign for a country that picks a fight in the Middle East, starts a war, and then you fire all of our top generals. But the news has come out that the reason that they're getting fired is because a lot of them were in line for a promotion. They're mostly black and women, and he didn't like that shit. So you think they want to make a Tuskegee Airmen game? I can't wait for this era of America. I'm ready for this season to be over, Chad. I'm glad I let the military right before these idiots took control. Yeah, like the head of the army, the highest ranking dude, he got fired because he would not take the black people and the women that were supposed to get promoted off of the promotion list. Hexeth wanted it. And he said he refused to do it because they were exemplary soldiers. They deserve those promotions. So shout out to that nigga for standing on his square, bro. That's what I like to see. He's like, I'm not doing that shit. All this shit gonna come back and bite all of them in the ass, bro. We got a Fox News drunk, the head of the military right now. Yeah, look at these maps, guys. Who's ready to go fight the war? Supposedly we lost 2 planes today. Iran shot down 2 planes today. It was confirmed. And it's also been confirmed. I don't know about the second plane, but the first plane that got shot down, I believe the soldiers are still alive and we are searching for them. They're somewhere in Iran. There hasn't been a confirmation, so take this with a grain of salt. I don't want to spread no misinformation. But there's a potential disaster on our hands because if those soldiers are alive and Iran's military or government gets a hold of them, we now have a POW situation, which gives them bargaining chips because now they would have American soldiers to bargain against. Guys, please, November, please, the midterms. Midterms, bruh. Oh my God. The pilot made it out. The second pilot is behind enemy lines. So I read that correctly. They are still alive behind enemy lines. It's bad right now. And the worst part is we're living in a propaganda state right now. So we don't know what's real. That's why I don't want to spread misinformation. I don't know what's 100% real, what's not. But if one of them motherfuckers gets snatched up by the Iran government, oh yeah, they're going to be clowning us on social media. And it's going to create a sticky situation too because the president doesn't give a fuck about the soldiers. He's a fat loser, bro. So I feel for them. I feel for them, man. I support the troops. I don't support the government. Fuck them niggas, bro. Nigga, didn't they tell you it was no war in Bassi? Say not to get on my woke shit too much, but yeah, it's looking pretty bad if you haven't been paying attention to the news.
Is a post-apocalyptic survival city builder where every structure.
He can't negotiate either. We already know that. Yeah, they already said they're not trying to negotiate either.
Your mission is to grow a small settlement into a sprawling colony and lead it to prosperity. Build massive, intricate cities using a physics-based construction system. Manage resources.
Oh, this is that story-driven co-op game, right?
Logistics and production. Navigate the needs of multiple factions, each with unique, useful traits. Make difficult political decisions and decide the future of the last bastion of humanity.
Didn't he say recently the war is going to be over in like 2 or 3 weeks?
Or as a tyrant.
Yeah, he did. And anybody who believes that, I'm not gonna lie, you're low IQ. I'm not gonna lie, because that's just like real. Maybe because we've been at peace for so long, some people believe. I'm not saying you believe it, but some people actually believe that statement. That's just not how war works. War is not a video game, bro. Like you can't just the war will be over in 2 weeks. That's not how it works, nigga. Fucking, I read that Iran, they use some type of deep tunnel system that they can move the missiles through willingly. And that's the reason we haven't been able to stop them. And they haven't figured out where these tunnels. So every time they shoot a missile, we don't know where that shit is coming from. And they still haven't figured out the tunnel system. But this nigga talking about the war gonna be over in 2 weeks. All right, buddy. That's not how real life works. They're fucking morons. Recommended almost 400 hours. Release the game.
How will you?
Looks interesting. Yeah, I think it's supposed to have like a dynamic story and it's a first-person shooter.